Alright, let's give that motherfucker what's coming to him.
Now, fellas, you might be asking yourself, why Saints Row 3? Why not start with the first game, or hell, even the second game? It was in a bundle in this fucking Switch store. I said, you know what, why not? Saints Row 3 came out back in 2011, and it also turns 15 years old this year. Poetic irony, am I right, fellas? This game is pretty divisive. You either love it or hate this game. Now, as for me, yeah, I do like this game. I think it is a genuinely pretty good entry in the series. And apparently was such a good entry that I got a remaster back in 2020, which I will not be using the remaster. Reason number one, because I think the game already runs perfectly as fine as it is. It did not mean I have an entire perfect experience on it, because there were just some weird fucking bugs that just happened. Reason number two is space. You see, the original Saints Row 3 is about 8 gigabytes. Pretty reasonable for a game released in 2011. And then you look at the remaster, which is almost 50 fucking gigabytes. Which, yeah, no, I'd rather not just do that. Besides, I like preserving space. This is why some of the footage looks like ass sometimes. And reason number three, it's just how the remaster looks. Okay, so the original game had more of a nice sort of cartoonish art style, which actually looks pretty good. It gives the game its own style, its own edge, you know? But then here comes the fucking remaster, and they stripped all the characters from that cartoonish art style in favor of just making them all look realistic, which might have fit in a more later entry, but they do not fit with these character designs at all. Josh went from looking like the generic Hawkeye trope to fucking Tobey Maguire. This news reporter lady looks like a fucking plastic doll now. And Oleg looks like an entirely different character now. Well, I'm glad this game did get the remaster treatment. I just wish the sacrifice wasn't in the character models. But also, that being said, I always found it weird that the first two Saints Row games never got a remaster. I mean, as we're recording this video, they could get a remaster this year. This is the 20th anniversary of Saints Row, so like the original only stuck on Xbox 360, and the sequel does have a PC port, but I heard it's not very good. Now, enough of that jibber jabber. Let's get started with the premise of the game.
Whoa, gangsta suit.
The game starts with a fucking Star Wars parody for some reason. We see our friend Pierce getting beat up, but then the fucking power of soda saves him. So after he fucking obliterates a guy just for no reason, Pierce decided to do a fucking trick shot just because it's fucking awesome. And as it turns out, it was an advertising for soda. Our main characters, that being Josh, Shondi, John, and the player character, decide to rob a bank. It turns out the fucking bank is packing heat.
Oh, that's different.
You got a plan, or we just shooting all these motherfuckers?
That is my plan.
Works for me.
You get your first taste of gameplay here, and it's kind of fun. Obviously, you gotta shoot down all the security and bank tellers just so you can get in your way to get to the money. But after Josh does something extremely fucking stupid, you can actually get thwarted by a fucking SWAT team. A fucking holy grail in that vault, just saying, damn. Well, thanks to Josh, the whole fucking thing went south, and you get arrested. The opening, you can go ahead and create your character. Since I like to make the most wackiest shit when making characters, I decided to make the most fucking absurd looking person ever. He's just fucking shiny, dude. This is just S-tier of character design. I also give the player character the Russian voice because it actually sounds pretty good. And also, come on guys, let me have my fucking fun here. Also give your fucking characters a zombie voice. But unless you like listening to gibberish, I don't really recommend this one. It just sounds annoying.
The fuck is this? We paid up this month.
Someone paid more.
What happened?
We got arrested.
No, to us. Burke's right. We traded our dicks in for pussies. Seriously. Movie deals, commercials. Saint's name used to mean something more than body spray and some ass-tasting energy drink.
Our brand's worth a shitload of money.
Is that what it's all about?
It's always about the money, Mr. Gat.
After you get out of prison, you meet up with a guy named Philippe Rollin, who is the guy whose bank you robbed. He's part of a massive crime organization called the Crime Syndicate. Other than him and the DeWinter sisters, there's Kilbane and Matt, who we'll get to later. Try calling a deal, but the Saints aren't having it, so they decide to threaten to shoot them. When Shawnee escaped, both Johnny and Gat decides to hold the line. And it's also in the middle of a pretty good level, honestly. After you two go outside, you try to contact Johnny Gad, but unfortunately...
Right on. I'll see you at Stone.
Johnny?
That's right, guys. Johnny Gad has died, and we will never, ever, ever see him again. Can I get an F in the chat, please? Anyways, after being hit by a car, you start to fall off harder than RGG Studios' reputation. To get the ground, you're on Steelport, and the Syndicate has also drained your money. I've got to kick the Syndicate's ass and avenge Johnny Gat. Other than Johnny Gat dying because, you know, Saints Row 4 existing, this is a pretty good premise and opening to the game. Now, speaking of that, let's start off with the gameplay.
Fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid. You stupid motherfuckers, you!
Anyways, now we're on to the gameplay, because, you know, this is a video game. It's pretty simple. You shoot the enemy and they die. You get a multitude of weapons. You get a pistol, a machine gun, shotgun, heavy machine gun, rocket launcher, whatever other special item. And you can use your fists or just another melee weapon. And these weapons are pretty cool. You get like a triple barrel shotgun, which is pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, where was that in Doom Dark Ages in software? Or you can also hit your enemies with a fucking dildo. I don't have footage of this for some reason, I don't think. Or you can run up to them and beat the fucking shit out of them. These takedowns are pretty fun, but they won't automatically kill the enemy all the time. Obviously, there's a lot more other things you can do other than just shoot people. You can also drive around cars with radio. Of course, cars and trucks aren't the only thing you can drive around in. You can also fly planes, drive boats, and even drive tanks. Yeah, tanks, and it is just as cool as it sounds. And of course, the meat of the game, the missions. A lot of them are great, like the Hooker Assassins one, and also the mission where you're invading the warehouse, you know, the most iconic mission of this game, along with playing Kanye West's Power, which did not age well, let's be for real. However, there are two really big problems with the missions. One, you can't replay them. I have no idea if the first two games let you replay missions, but if they did let you replay missions, then why suddenly remove it? And problem number two, they pull an Israeli move by making you forced to play a lot of mini games. Now, some mini games, like say Guardian Angel, can be kind of fun. They get traffic, which just sucks. From what I've heard, the first two games kind of force you to do mini games to raise your respect meter, which in this game is more of a leveling up system, which makes you unlock upgrades. However, in the first two games, you basically had to do them to progress the story and raise that meter. The way it's done in Saints Row 3 over than 1 and 2, because that just sounds tedious as fuck. I'd rather watch someone go into abortions than play traffic again. There are a couple other things, like you can buy stores, tune and decorate your car, which is kind of pointless since you can just steal someone else's car. You can get some gangs to help you out. You can change the player's design by going to the stores and just getting new costumes, going to a surgeon and just straight up changing your entire appearance. The original PC port, I don't know if the remaster does have this, lets you wear hats of all the TF2 mercs. I have Engineer because that's the guy I played the most in, because Engineer Gaming, a joke I found funny like 5 years ago. Now we're done with the gaming bit, let's talk about the graphics. This game honestly can look fucking gorgeous, especially in night times, because man, look at that fucking city. I also like the models too. They have a more sort of cartoonish-like style to them. And I'm still kind of pissed the remaster just got rid of it instead for making them look more realistic for realistic standards. I don't give a fuck of a remaster. These models didn't need changing. Could just fucking update them or something. Sorry if I don't have a lot about graphics. I do think the game still looks pretty good. Now, let's talk about the characters, and let's start off with the original Saints.
Where are we going, Brian? Well, Peter, we're going to visit the year 1492. That's when Columbus set sail on his famous voyage to the New World. Hey, we're on a ship! That's right, Peter. This is the Santa Maria, one of 3 ships Columbus took to find a direct route to India. Any sign of India yet, fellows? Nothing yet, Captain. India? But I thought Columbus was going to America. On the contrary, Peter, Columbus discovered America entirely by mistake. Wow!
Now let's get to the characters. Let's start off with the Saints and then we get to the Syndicate. Let's first start off with the player character. I like the player character. They're mainly called the player or just boss, but they're entertaining. They have a nice cocky, get it over with personality. I like it. Next up is Pierce. Pierce is fine, I guess. He's a fun character. I do like the more chess game gag he has with Oleg.
Back it up, we gotta move.
I got 20K on this game. Damn!
Andy, however, sucks. She's my least favorite member of the Saints. She's constantly very angry and obnoxious, and I hate it. It's also kind of weird compared to her Saints Row 2 counterpart, which was more of a calm stoner. Their characters suck in Saints Row 2 that much that they needed to change it so drastically. I don't really think so. I guess she also fucked Johnny Gat that one time because she cannot stop fucking mentioning him a lot, especially in the first half of the game. As for the new Saints, we've got Oleg, the giant big dude who has been used to make grunts. I like him, he's pretty fun. He's also pretty kind.
Ladies first.
Next up is Angel, and Angel is also fine. I don't really think he's that memorable of a character though. He has beef with Killbane because he lost to him. But really that's it. He is home to probably one of my favorite cutscenes of the entire game.
A fucking tiger?
If you're fighting the luchadors, you need to be ready for anything.
A fucking tiger?
Next up is Kinsey, and she's basically fucking Futaba from Persona 5. That's all you need to know about her character. Other than that, she was pretty cool, and she also works for the FBI and stuff. Next up in the new Saints, and probably my favorite, is easily Zemos. He's basically a pimp with an auto-tune microphone. That's kind of fucking awesome, honestly.
Anyway, I didn't call you over to talk about me. You killed Philippe Loren and showed the Morning Star that you are here to stay.
The only problem I have with Zemos is they kind of just stopped showing up after a while. Like Angel and Kinsey still show up, sure, but like Zemos just fucking flat out disappears. It's really fucking weird, I don't know why. Next up is Viola, who was part of the Morning Star, aka the Syndicate, but decided to join up with the Saints because Killbane killed her sister. As you can clearly see, this is a reference to Chibi Ryu's wife cheating on him with his fucking best friend of 10 years. Anyways, Viola is fine. I don't really think she's that interesting of a saint compared to the other ones we've got. She does show up a lot later in the latter half for some reason, and she's definitely a little bit more interesting than Josh. Look, I know technically Josh really doesn't count, but you can make him join the Saints, so I'm gonna count him as that. He kind of just exists. He has really little to no personality whatsoever. Like, you kidnap him and after like 2 missions with him, he just disappears, just like Zemos. You think the guy who indirectly caused Johnny Gat's death, if you will, part of a bigger role, but hey, that's all the Saints. I really do like them for the most part, and I can definitely say they're a lot more interesting than the Crime Syndicate.
Okay, gang, I'll make the first roll. Go! A 67, huh?
Now let's go on to the Syndicate, the main antagonist of the game. And they're not as memorable as the Saints, but usually one of them is fine and the other two are just kind of there. This motherfucker is a fucking force to be reckoned with, and I love it. He's also the leader of the Luchadors, which is pretty cool. It's also pretty nice and satisfying when we actually take off his mask later on in the game. But without his mask, he just looks fucking weird to look at. Also kills Viola's sister in the world's weakest snap of the neck I've ever seen. Next up is Matt, leader of the Deckers, and is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, doing a fucking British accent. I know that's Yuri because, yes, Matt's a pretty lame character, at least in Saints Row 3. He's a lot more interesting in Saints Row 4. And while he does have a pretty cool boss fight, and admittedly a lot of the Deckers have a pretty cool design, he just really isn't as interesting as Killbane. Like I said, he's a lot more interesting in Saints Row 4 because he's an actual crew member in that game. But we'll get there when we get there. Now, as for Philippe Berlin, yeah, he kind of just dies off 2 hours into the game. And I should remind you, this dude was in, like, the advertising. Good job, Saints Row. I remember being kind of pissed off the first time I played it last year, and I was like, really? That's how we got off the first dude? It's more annoying that this Belgian bitch is technically kinda, sort of, the only one of the crime syndicate that we can actually kill. Again, kinda, sorta, technically, but we'll get there when we get there. Now, like I said, I think a lot of the Crime Syndicate is just fine. But I can certainly say they are a lot better than a certain other group that joins in somewhere halfway towards the game. That being... somewhere halfway in the game, you meet a new group, Stag. Stag is boring as shit. Mainly the soldier dude and the soldier woman, they have like fucking no personality. They're just basically cardboard. Stag as an antagonist is very interesting, at least. They got like laser assault rifles. The laser assault rifles kind of suck ass. And also laser shotguns, which I never use because, hey, triple barrel shotguns is just better. Their tanks and ships do make up for it, though. Like, when you first meet them, they're built up as this massive threat that the main Saints are struggling to deal with. And don't take answers kindly.
How will Stag impact our daily lives?
When we win the war on urban terror, you and your families will be safe again.
Sir, that's not what I asked.
Let me tell you about Jessica Parrish, a girl from Stillwater who ran away from home to be with her tough guy boyfriend. Jessica thought her life was pretty sweet, until a gangbanger kidnapped her, threw her in the trunk of a car, and laughed as her boyfriend crushed her in a monster truck rally. If Jessica Parrish was your daughter, how far would you want me to go?
You still didn't answer her question. A couple hours later, we're just destroying their fucking ships. Look, I get it. It's just a fucking video game. I don't like this disbelief shit, guys. The only plus I do actually have for them is they are in charge of some of the best missions of the game, like the one you're seeing right now.
Bring the rain.
Holy shit, I'm gonna call. I don't get it. Neither do I. Oh my god. That's beautiful.
Now, if you notice this entire review, I neglected to talk about something. These sort of like choice option things. Usually stuff like this affects the story, but here it affects the gameplay. I don't mind these as long as they actually have an actual effect and not just, well, filler. Well, all except for the final mission of the game. All except for the final mission of the game. Now, like I said, I have to get someone else's footage because my own footage is kind of fucked, so give it credit, this final mission is really solid. You know, when I played it on the Nintendo Switch, so much shit happens, and later on the song Holding On for the Hero plays, which that song is peak as fuck, and it just absolutely makes the scene hype. Now, you might be asking yourself, where does this play? Well, that choice thing I mentioned earlier. Yeah, depending on what you choose, it outcomes your ending. Go to the statue and save your friends, will let Killbane get away? Or you can kill Killbane, but your friends will die. In a way, it's somewhat like SMT4 Apocalypse. A lot of your choices don't really matter except one specific choice near the end. Honestly, if you ask me, it worked a lot better in Apocalypse, and a simple fact that those endings feel a lot more different from one another. Here, a problem does stand by here. See, in the ending where you kill Killbane, you're also able to take out Stag. In the Save Shandy ending, which is the canon ending to Saints Row 3, Stag gets told to fuck off even though they're about to blow up a monument with people inside. And as for Killbane, he gets to star in your movie. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, no, this is just fucking stupid. What a lame ending. No, like I said, these endings really honestly should have just been mixed together. They just pull this bullshit because, well, you make different choices in your playthrough. Why not make the endings do the same? Like, just mix them together. It feels so unsatisfying. Sure, one of the endings is just simply getting rid of Killbane and Stag, but it's not canon and you lose, like, a couple of your crew. While the other just starting a movie with Killbane and Stag just fucks off, and that's the canon ending. That's bullshit. Sure, you have to make some retweaks, but I rather would have had them mixed together instead of just separated for separated sakes. It is 1:30 in the morning for a video that I started production like since the beginning of February. Fuck my chud life, and despite the game's faults, I still really did enjoy Saints Row 3. It's definitely different from the games it did proceed before, but you know what? I think it does stand out in its own unique way. Yeah, sure, the obnoxious mini games, Stag's existence, and the dumbass endings really do hurt the game down a lot, but I don't think it's a bad experience, and I think it's worth checking out. I'll cover the other games some other time. I'm planning doing Saints Row 4 sometime in December because as a Christmas DLC. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention this game has DLCs. I don't care to mention them at all. I still prefer 4. I think 3 is still a pretty good entry. Now, excuse me, I've got to sing my memorial for Johnny Gat. We are Johnny Gat, we get by the flames, we get by the gospel, we get by the Twitter.
How about another dance and a song?
Oh yeah! Let's dance all night long! All night long? Oh, now dear, remember that kids wait for a gift and a cheer!